Metals Inc. trades on the TSXV under the symbol CCCM and on the OTCQB under the symbol CUAUF. And it's a mineral exploration company focused on creating substantive value for its shareholders through the discovery and development of large copper and gold deposits. Please welcome President, CEO, and Director Dan Symons. Nice to see you, Dan. Welcome back.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks for having me back.
All right, the floor is yours.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, for those of you hearing this story, maybe for the first time, we'll give a high-level overview. But for those of you who saw us last time when we were here with Emerging Growth in April, I thought it would just be fitting to talk about share price performance of the company as of just a couple of days ago this week. Just compared to probably the two most relevant ETFs, the Junior Gold Miners Index and the Copper Miners Index, or ETFs. We've outperformed since last appearing with Emerging Growth, up 34% since that time, and year to date we're up 284%. So it is still a good time for people who like to stock pick. If you get it right, you can significantly outperform. Just a reminder of who we are is our team. Our board and management combined over 180 years of experience in this industry. We've created billions of dollars of value in this sector. We've raised billions of dollars of capital via both the equity and debt capital markets for exploration and mine building, and which has led to billions of dollars of positive M&A transactions for shareholders of previous companies. And we're out here trying to do it again. Combined, we've discovered and or delineated over 34 billion pounds of copper and 50 million ounces of gold with this team. Another unique thing about us is a small company. Between the insiders of the company and institutions, for a company that's in U.S. market cap terms sitting around 65 million, we are very heavily institutionally held, where usually it's typically the other way around, more retail held. But given our track record and our project and asset base, now we set up the company, we are in a position with over 65% of our shares held by insiders and institutional investors. Pretty simple business strategy, and we're very disciplined about it. We're focused on copper gold assets. We think we're good at identifying early stage opportunities and building district scale properties around those opportunities to be sizable enough for majors in the future. And then we do enough exploration to gather enough technical data to get to a decision point, either to divest of the asset if it's not going to meet our criteria. Sometimes we'll look at partnering assets if there's significant potential, but it's a bit capital intensive and beyond our scale for the size of the company. And also sometimes there's synergies with neighboring companies that we have to keep in mind. And if we find something that's good grade mineralization near surface, it's low capital intensity, just to drill the heck out of it, that's what we're going to do. When we look at our projects right now and where we are, the three that we're very active on today is we have two in Jamaica and one in Peru. I'll go through these in a little bit more detail here in a moment, but just at a very high level, in Jamaica, we have the Superblock project, which we partnered with a neighboring company to unlock geologic synergies. It was very clear we each had part of an epithermal gold system. We're actively drilling on that project today. Also in Jamaica, we have today we own 100% of the Bellas Gate project. It's 130 square kilometers, but we have Freeport-McMoRan, the largest copper producer in the world, fully funding that project and earning in by spending up to $75 million US to earn 75% in the project. This is one of those ones that has very significant potential, obviously, for a company like Freeport to get involved. It has to, and it has the potential to be very large, but it will be capital intensive. So instead of us issuing 1 billion shares to move this project forward, we brought in a big brother partner, and we're actively drilling there today as well. And then we just announced this week our Khaleesi project in Peru. We are now fully permitted, and we have social license from the local community to go out and start drilling. And we intend to kick off the maiden drill program, the first one ever on this project, starting next month. So we're in a unique position being a little 65 million US market cap company, fully funded with 3 projects moving simultaneously. I'll just walk through each of these projects just a little bit a deeper level, but quickly here. On the left, you see the outline. That blue outline is the Superblock project. You can see that arrow pointing to the past producing Penance mine. This was a little really rinky-dink operation that closed in 2004, but it is the last not it's the last metallic gold mine outside of the bauxite industry in Jamaica, where mining is the number two industry. And you can see this black line. This used to be our concession boundary. By partnering with our neighbor, now we have 50% of everything within inside this blue line, and that includes the past producing Peanuts mine. And while we're primarily copper focused, when we look at the historical resource here, it was running at 20 grams per ton. So a very significant high grade gold is too hard to ignore. Today, the pit's about 30 meters deep, with the average drill depths about 80 meters deep, with multiple intercepts into high grade gold below and outside the pit. So we're excited to get back here, and we're actively drilling today. By putting their properties together with their neighboring company, Geophysics Jamaica Limited, a private company in Jamaica, we were able to then identify the old past producing mines right in the center of what now we know is a 5-kilometer long gold trend. So this is a project where the scale of the project has grown significantly over the last year. Moving over, that's what we're active there on the super block. We're drilling on that now, and we expect to have assays coming out here just in the next couple of weeks. Moving over just to the right side of where we are in Jamaica, this is 130 square kilometers outlined in that red color. This is where Freeport's earning in and funding 100% of the investment. We're really more focused with Freeport on these porphyry prospects depicted by these stars. Porphyries, again, being the large, big #1 source of copper in the world from mines in the world. These are the types of the deposits that they're capital intensive, but all the major companies love them because once you get them into production, they're usually running 30, 40, 50 plus years. Providing steady cash flow. We had identified 14 porphyry prospects over an 18-kilometer strike extent. We ourselves had drilled 4 of the 14, and we had some pretty good results, 200 to 300 meters, averaging about 0.5 to 0.6% copper equivalent, where the average operating open pit mine today is running at 0.5% copper. So we're well in line with the average operating grades today. And we're very active with Freeport. Today, we're testing some of these other 10 stars or porphyry prospects down to 500 meters with a drill rig we already had in country, as well as we're just kicked off a very extensive geophysical survey that will allow us to see IP chargeability down to the depth of 1,000 meters. So that will really inform where we want to start poking some deeper holes into the system. Once we gather that data, we plan to move to a deeper drill program. And then not to be forgotten is what we're doing in Peru, because I actually believe this is the potential to be the top catalyst for us here in 2025. It took us about 2.5 years to consolidate 310 square kilometers. I think we have one of the biggest positions, if not the biggest, of a junior exploration company along this very well-known world-class copper producing belt. Produces third most copper in the world after Chile and the DRC. We're less than 45 kilometers from the very well-renowned Las Bambas mine, also less than 45 kilometers from the Constancia mine. Also on this belt is Antapaccay, operated by Glencore, and the Cerro Verde mine, which is ironically Freeport's second largest producer. But beyond that, you have BHP here in the light blue, Rio Tinto in the dark blue, Teck Resources in the pink, Barrick in the green, First Quantum Minerals in the yellow color. And these are all intermediate to major mining companies with exploration stage projects as well. So we're in and surrounded by all the big boys. And, we came into this property by acquiring 57 square kilometers by acquiring a private company on the Central Eastern Project area. And we had drilled out, we identified 15 targets to go after on this property. We drilled into the first one on the eastern side of the property. That gave us a resource which really underpins our value, where we have a pit constrained resource where we looked at assumed $3 copper and $1,800 gold on that pit a couple of years ago. And it gave us in pit of 570 million pounds of copper, 326,000 ounces of gold. But then when we saw, as we were expanding our land position, what we were seeing on the left side or the western side of the property at Khaleesi, we got really excited. And that's where we've been spending our focus, because all these major mines along this belt are formed along the contact between this rock you see in the teal color, which is a limestone, and this purple color, which you see is a batholith. And this has been underexplored. This particular area has never had a drill hole. We're going to put our first drill holes ever into this area shortly. And what gets us really excited is, when we ran the soil geochemistry, in our industry, we get excited about anything over 300 parts per million copper in soil. That's usually a very good indicator of a drill target and something that warrants testing because of high probability of potential economic viability in the deposit. We look at what we uncovered here earlier this year, and we have on the eastern side of this project, we're looking at a 1.9 kilometer by 650-meter area where the northern half is averaging 650 ppm copper, so more than double what usually gets us excited. The southern half's averaging 950 ppm copper, so triple gets us excited, and then the area over the skarn zone's averaging 1260 ppm, so quadruple what gets us excited. So we then went and ran geophysics. On the top, you're looking at a bird's eye view directly under where we have that 1260 ppm copper in soils, very large magnetic anomaly. Also, where we have the 950 ppm copper in soils, very large magnetic anomaly. And if we take a slice along that, looking at that black line on the top image, and then instead of moving down to the bottom of this slide, instead of looking at from a bird's eye view, now taking a slice in the earth from the side, looking at the chargeability, which picks up the sulfide minerals, you can see how big this system looks at depth, and that it looks like it's connected. So we're pretty excited. We're about to put the first drill holes into it. We're fully permitted. Where we do have outcropping rock, we're getting good grades, and we're seeing the right type of minerals like bornite and chalcopyrite at surface. So this is definitely a big target for us and chance for a new maiden discovery in the industry. I just think it's a unique place to be, being a company with, we're again around a $65 million market cap US with about 10 million in cash. We're fully funded for all our programs because we have partners on some of the programs. We have major companies who've done diligence on our assets and wanted to get involved. And, we're very disciplined about managing risk and making sure that we're balancing corporate equity dilution by bringing in partners at the right time. And that's really a good summary of where we are today. A unique position of 3 projects going all at the same time, all fully funded. We should be having a lot of news flow here. It's just starting in the next couple of weeks on drill assays, and it should continue throughout the year.
Awesome. Thank you, Daniel. We are out of time. We've got a lot of questions for you. We'll send them to you so you can answer on your own, but thank you for this update.
Thank you very much, Anna.
All right, everyone, we'll be right back.